Hey everybody, this is Paige from Mosaic Moments, and today I have a demo for you of the 2x2 graphic shapes. The shapes here are from the graphic shape set 2 and set 3, so that's what I have here today. And I'm going to be showing you how to create a collage border with these dies, so this is just a really fun demo today. I'm going to be using photographs such as this one that have fun decorative walls, so anything that's like a decorative photo will work with these dies since they do have small spaces. So now that you've been introduced to dies, let's get started with the demo. Alright, we're starting off by cutting the frame pieces. So the nice thing about these dies is they are small enough to fit multiple of them on a die machine. I have all three I'm going to be using today on here. Alright, and I'm going to roll it through, and as you can see I have a piece of cardstock over each one of these dies. I will be cutting the more intricate ones again. This one here I only needed to cut one time, and you can see that it popped out of the die really easily. If you have those little inside pieces, you can just poke them out with your fingers. So basically you want to keep that frame part that sits inside the die itself. And I will be cutting these more intricate dies one more time, so there will be 5 die cuts all together. And you can go ahead and discard all those filler pieces. To cut the background piece, you will need a 2x2 die. That one was from set A, or you could use the grid cut die and you can get 6 blocks all at the same time. So this will be going behind your graphic shapes frames just to fill in some of the spaces easier. Alright, so I got all those cut at the same time. Now we can place these background pieces right on the grid paper. So obviously that's what's going to go on first. I did pick this green color because I wanted something a little more subtle and not something super bright, and that would be too contrasting against the photographs I'm going to be adding after I place the graphic shapes frames on. Alright, so it's quick and easy. I use my Re-positionable glue from Herma Dotto to glue those down. I'm going to use it again on the graphic shapes here. As you can see, I'm just taking my time and putting a little bit of glue on here and there. Alright, now I'm going to start placing it right on top of that square. And of course, if you didn't have the square, it's really easy to also place it directly on the grid paper. As I said before, the background piece is really nice to fill in those little spaces without having to cut each individual piece and then gluing each individual piece down. Alright, so this is just one way of getting those little pieces filled, is by sticking a background piece down first and then it shows through. So many of you probably know that trick from if you've used a lot of our 2x2 decorative dies. And with the graphic shapes here, I have kind of your middle intricate one at the end, the most intricate on the next part in the middle is the most simplest design die, but you can actually place these however you want on your grid paper. So you're welcome to mix it up however you want. You can use different dies from the graphic shape sets as well. So this is just what I chose for my layout because I wanted a little more intricate ones along with the simpler one just to give it some interest. Alright, now I have my photos here and I'm just lining them up so the horizon line between them all matches. And first I'm going to place this one down because it's at the very end on the left, and I am going to use washi tape to make sure that die stays in place. Alright, now I'm going to put on the second one. This is the most intricate die that I'm using today, and I'm also going to tape that one down. Definitely if you're using more than one die on the same photograph, I definitely recommend using washi tape to make sure they stay in line and don't shift. So this one there's enough room only to cover half of the die, so that's what I'm doing, is only cutting half of the die, and then the other half will be cut with the other photograph. So I decided I also needed some more washi tape because even though I already have some on the top, it's still moved around on the bottom. So I recommend placing more than one piece of tape to make sure those dies are very secure on your photograph. And of course, you can roll them all at once in the die machine, which is really nice. That's why it's great to use the small dies, because you can often get it done faster, right? Alright, so these photos did cut. It may not look like it, but it did. But it does make it easier to glue the back of it and then place it on the frame die cut. So don't take them apart. It'll be easier to glue when they're stuck together, and then you can place each individual piece within the die frame. I'm going to do that again with this second photo. As you can see, I have lots of little pieces for this one, and it's easy for me to glue the back of that entire portion of the photograph, and then I'm able to place each of those little pieces inside this frame here. So the graphic shapes dies, you have a lot of different options on how to fill in those spaces, and you could even stack some of these on top of each other. There's just so many different ways to use this die, and today I chose the graphic shapes to make a unique collage. We do a lot of mosaics around here, but sometimes you need a little bit of a change, so definitely try out the graphic shapes if you want something new for your scrapbook pages. Alright, this is my last die cut here, and as you can see, it was really easy to place those two pieces in, and now we're ready to fill in the rest. Alright, now I think you get the idea, so I'm speeding up the video here. So again, this time I'm starting with that more simpler die and only cutting with half of it, and then the most intricate die, and then my last die that's on the far right of the page here. Again, I'm rolling it through my machine. And then one at a time, I'm going to pull each part of the photograph apart and then glue the back with my Dotto dispenser here, or whatever glue you are using. And that way you can get these little pieces in that die frame really easily. Alright, I'm getting to my last one here. And you can use a pair of tweezers if you need to poke out the die. One of my triangles got loose, so I'm fixing that. Make sure you glue each piece down really well. Alright, so this could be my finished layout. I could have the green with the photos, but I just felt like my page still looked a little boring. So I'm going to add another photo, which this is going to be a neat look because it'll kind of look like a photo inside of another photo, kind of, okay? So this is still some of the street art we saw that day, but I try to choose something that was different from the others, so that way you could tell it's a completely different photograph surrounding the previous photographs I just placed on. So this is a whole new technique. Like I said, you could have the pattern paper cardstock that fills in part of your graphic shapes, or you can do a really neat technique like this one where it looks like it's a photo inside of another photo here. So that's what I like about this technique. And I'm gonna finish it off here, and again, I pretty much take the same steps as before. Here I'm kind of changing it up because I want a little more, I didn't really want that big black space in my photograph and stuff, but basically you line it up the same way you did before, except instead of the inside portion, I'm using the pieces on the outside portions of the graphic shapes dies. Anyway, if you have any questions about today's demo, please leave them in the comments below this video. So I'm filling up the rest of this space here, and again, make sure you use the triangles that are going on the outside rather than the center. I kept gluing down the wrong triangles here. Alright, I'm finally finished with my layout. This is a really fun look, and again, if you're looking for something new and interesting to put on your Mosaic Moments pages, the graphic shapes are really fun, especially for a page like this. We were on a Segway tour and saw some fun street art, and so if you have fun photographs kind of like these ones, this is a great one. Anyways, so this completes today's demo. I hope you had fun watching it, and if you did, give our video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. You can actually go ahead and subscribe on the bottom right corner. There is a little Mosaic Moments logo that should be there, and you can click on that to subscribe. Alright, thank you for watching today's demo, and I'll see you next time.